Hi Scorpio, welcome to your October 2017 General Tarot reading. It's Rena here. So this is a general focus, and if you're looking for love, I have a video on my channel for October for love. And for personal readings, you can click on the link below. It's just like it jumped out at me, so I was like, okay. I'm also going to be picking a card from the Earth Magic deck, an oracle card. I'm going to do that right now. Ooh, crystals, focus. I never picked that one before. Okay. Ugh, all this noise, and I have all my windows closed. Yikes. The overall message is the Page of Swords, and this is a card of somebody being very vigilant about a situation. I could totally see a Scorpio person being like this, because it's like spying. It's like, okay, are they really working late tonight? But I think there's a definite career thing going on here. So you may be like a little bit on I was going to say on edge, but it's more of a situation where you're trying to figure out if someone is kind of pulling the wool over your eyes. But I think it's almost like waiting for a message to develop about a work prospect, because actually pages can relate to messages, and definitely with swords we're talking about communication, and the cards around it speak to career matters, because in the past position we have the Three of Wands. And so one example of this, because the Three of Wands relates to broadening your horizons, and possibly that could involve doing something on your own professionally. But this can be like foreign travel. You may be just kind of waiting to hear what's going on. It could even be like researching how to go about it. And there's definitely this expansive, or was this expansive energy, this desire to kind of branch out. And what we have right now is a card represented by the King of Pentacles. So this can be you being very financially successful with a business, or this is somebody that you're trying to curry their favor and waiting to hear from them. The King of Pentacles could be the owner of a business, the head of a bank. I would say specifically, if I were going to choose something more of a business that might have a branch somewhere else in another part of the world, and you're kind of waiting to hear from this person. If this is a personal relationship, you may have gotten involved with somebody who is, you may be involved with somebody who is an earth sign, especially if he's an older male, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. And there may be somebody from your past who is a fire sign, Aries, Sagittarius, or Leo, especially Leo, just because of what Leo's, being a fixed sign. Let me just keep going and we'll see what's going on here. The higher message is the Knight of Cups. So yeah, this could be an offer that is given to you. And, you know, it may be that it's possible that there are different things going on with your work. Perhaps you have a part of you that is really interested in financial stability, but not just stability, just like making a lot of money. This Knight of Cups is more of a artistic energy, and being in the higher position, I think it's a message to those people who are artists that you may be consumed with the idea of something that is very profitable, but not necessarily speaking to your highest part of your being. As a matter of fact, the Three of Wands is an entrepreneurial card. It's expansive and creative. But the King of Pentacles is somebody who has a lot of power, and probably a lot of that has to do with the financial situation that they have, where they are really doing so well financially that they have a lot of, I don't know, reputation, power, that kind of thing. And I would say that the Three of Wands is about personal power. And it's power through the creative process. And the Knight of Cups kind of goes along with that versus this outer display of power. And in personal relationships, it's a similar theme of material, somebody who has a great stature professionally or materially versus someone who can offer you something emotional. Now, you are one of the cups because you're a water sign. So it's kind of interesting, though, with Scorpio, because Scorpio does love power. And, you know, one of your rulers besides Mars is Pluto, and Pluto is all about power, control. And so you respect people who have made a name for themselves, who are successful. It's not in the same vein as a Capricorn person that, and that King of Pentacles could be a Capricorn individual, but you don't think of it in the same way that a Capricorn person admires success. They admire it because of that ability to start on one level and kind of work their way up the ladder of success. You are more interested in the whole concept of power itself. You know, attainment isn't really what it's all about. It's just about the pure, sheer power of it. And so, sure enough, this is the challenge card. The Eight of Swords is your self-imposed limitations. And because it's swords, it's related to your thoughts. And your thoughts are that's your belief system. With Scorpio, and I'm sure that a lot of you would also have Mercury in Scorpio, which is the way you think, that's a fixed sign, a fixed water sign. So there can be some very stubborn, deeply entrenched beliefs that are not rational, that are just emotional in nature, based on conditioning or based on karma, where you just have, and in karma, by karma I mean past life memories, where you just will keep doing a certain thing because you believe in certain things, and you're not easily moved. You're not able to change those things because you just feel like, yes, this is how it is. And what's unfortunate about that is that those beliefs may not be true anymore for you. Maybe at one time they served you, but they no longer serve you. An example of that is if you grew up without a lot of money, you may feel like, or maybe grew up feeling powerless in some way, you may feel like that is the way to be secure in life, is to feel like you can exert influence over other people. Really, the most powerful people are the ones who understand that they can't control other people. And so they're not interested in that. The irony is that people who value being able to control other people in a professional sense, if they ever get in a relationship with somebody like that, they can very well be somebody who is controlled by that person. And because that doesn't end in the workplace. If you're attracted to somebody because they have a lot of power, just realize that your home life may be a situation where they expect you to kowtow to them. I'm thinking of some of these, Hollywood relationships where the other person is really not much more than an object, a pawn for that person to push around, to move around the chessboard. So you have to get rid of those beliefs that cause you to kind of poo-poo something like the Knight of Cups, whether that's a person or an offer that is speaking to your soul, a soul-based business, maybe it's an idea that you have. I think for a lot of you, it may be something that you want to do for yourself. Like, I want to be a massage therapist, and you feel like, if you're like, let's say you're in the corporate world, you think that that is a step down. And so you're afraid to go for it, things like that. But it could be a person, somebody who maybe doesn't have a lot of money, but they're very talented creatively, and they could inspire you. But you're looking at it from this very limited perspective. And here's another offer. The universe is knocking at your door, Scorpio. The Ace of Cups is an offer of love. An actual person, or maybe you have an idea about, or somebody offers you a chance to work for them in a more spiritual setting, something that is soulful. And as advice, this could be like, go for it. Look how beautiful this card is. It's all about touching your soul, not just your pocketbook, And the outcome is the Fool. Being, willing to travel down a path where you have no idea what the destination will be, but you're willing to do it because you are letting go of the old. And you're going to have your full moon on November 4th. So this is a prelude to that period of time. And maybe this Fool card comes after that period, when you've kind of shed old skin and you're moving into a different phase of your life. You're going into your solar return. Happy birthday to those of you who are having your birthday this month. That's when your solar return begins. But it's funny because then you're going to have that ending too. And the outcome is the Fool card. And this is the card of the person who is willing to go on a new path. And you're going to have your new moon later in November, on November 18th. Maybe some of these cards are not for October at all. But the Fool is the first card of the major arcana, the 0, the unknown quantity. And It's all about just shedding old skin and going on a new path. You're going to have your solar return. Some of you, a lot of you, it's going to happen actually in November, but some of you in October, so happy birthday. But yeah, this is about, you know, the Ace of Cups, new beginnings in love, new beginnings in some kind of venture that is more meaningful to you on an emotional and spiritual level. But the Fool is just about being willing to go for it and not worry about where it takes you, where the path takes you. You know, it's interesting that that first card, the Three of Wands in the upper left-hand corner, speaks of long-distance travel. And the person is very expansive. The Fool card is about somebody traveling as well. But they're just, it's all about the journey, not the destination. And so it's about exploring. It's about being open to what comes your way. I think that's the best kind of journey. And when we travel through life more like the Fool and less like somebody with an itinerary, I think that we are making ourselves open to new experiences. For Scorpios, this is essential to keep you from being stagnant and to show you the potential in life, you know. It's wonderful. Okay, well, let me talk about this card from the Earth Magic deck, crystals. Here we see an amethyst crystal cave, bathed in the water from a river, the points of light representing the spiritual force that these crystal beings generate. Amethysts, as well as other types of quartz crystals, have been used for thousands of years in magic and healing, as well as for intensifying psychic capabilities. Since its violet color is the same as the crown chakra, it has often been referred to as a spiritual stone. The nature of quartz crystals, the second most common element in the Earth's crust, is that they help focus the power of our life force, or spirit. Where attention goes, power flows, and crystals magnify this power tenfold. Our intention influences where our attention goes. When we're consciously aware of our intention, it facilitates the focus of that spiritual power and supports the manifestation and material reality of that intention. It is time to bring your complete focus to the subject of your inquiry. Eliminate all distractions and give this your undivided attention. Whether this is a project, relationship, or simply a relaxing time spent walking in nature, be fully present to the situation. This sharpening of focus will expand your awareness and allow your inner guidance to penetrate your consciousness, which can then be parlayed into appropriate action. By being focused with crystal clarity, you're in the flow of your life force, and in fact have become one with it. It is not a hypervigilant, tension-filled state, hypervigilant, but one of relaxed attention. Keep your eyes, ears, and heart focused on that which you need to pay attention to, and miracles can be created. To paraphrase a fictional elder, use the force and use it in life-enhancing ways. What is so interesting, besides that, I had mentioned, if you recall, vigilance with the Page of Swords. And I think with Scorpio, sometimes there is that suspicion because of trust issues, that people are just, waiting to screw you over in whatever area, whether it's business or pleasure. But also the idea of that focus, or the concept of power in your personal life. And what does that really entail? And there's an inner power. And I know that Scorpios can harness this very easily if they try, because you're a feminine sign. So there is that sense of going inward, that passivity that relates to meditation and the spiritual pursuits, being a water sign. So use that and you will gain, the inner power is the greatest power. No question about it. Okay, Scorpio, I hope you have a great October. Take care. Bye.